Good evening. I'm Martin Bartlett. It is Tuesday, November 10th. It's 5:30 p.m. Thank you so much for joining us for our monthly community meeting on the I-10 Connect project. We typically come to you the first Tuesday of every month. Of course, we know that was election day, so we expected many folks would be at home watching their television. So we moved this month's meeting to today, the second Tuesday of the month. And that also happens to coincide with some big changes which have just been enacted along Paisano Drive near the I-10 Connect project in the vicinity immediately north of the Bridge of the Americas. We would usually be joined by Jennifer Wright from the Texas Department of Transportation to begin this meeting. She, however, is representing the department tonight on other official business. So I'm Martin Bartlett from Barracuda Public Relations. I'll be kicking off the meeting this evening. We're also joined, as we always are, by two very special guests, also subject matter experts, Jorge Orejel, who is the project manager for the Texas Department of Transportation, and Rudy Elias from Sunt Construction, the general contractor that is doing the work on the ground. Gentlemen, thanks for being with us this evening.
Thank you, Martin.
Absolutely. We'll be taking questions via email, info@i10connectelpaso.com, or comments on the Facebook Live. We'll get those questions answered for you later in the evening. If we don't have an answer for you immediately, we will take it to Jorge and Rudy, who might have an answer for us. If there is an answer that we need to take additional time to get for you, we will do that as well. So let's dive right on into some of the nuts and bolts. We expect that there are some of you who are joining us tonight for the first time. So we'll go back to the beginning on this project for the benefit of those who haven't been joining us in the past. And it will work all the way through some of the big changes which have recently gone into effect. Again, we mentioned this is a project, the I-10 Connect project is a project of the Texas Department of Transportation. Sunt is the general contractor for this project. Consor is providing construction management and inspection services. KCI is the firm that did the actual design work for the project, and Barracuda Public Relations, the company for which I work, is assisting TxDOT on communications during the construction phase of this project. Going through some of the numbers on this project, a $96 million project. Construction began back in February of 2019. A total of 3 years allocated to this project. So you can see we're beyond the halfway point for the schedule on this project. Let's talk a little bit about what this project is designed to do. On this next slide, you'll see a bunch of ramps highlighted in blue. All of the things you see in blue are new ramps that are either new construction or a replacement of an existing ramp. And what it really boils down to with the I-10 Connect project is creating improved connectivity between Interstate 10 and Loop 375 at the Spaghetti Bowl. What we'll go through and what we'll show you in some of the slides to come is the decision point where you will make that decision of, do I go to Juarez or do I stay on 54 and get to the border highway, will change. We'll talk through some of that in a little bit in the coming slides. Another big change you'll see is immediately north of the Bridge of the Americas. And that's where a lot of the action is right now as construction is underway to reconfigure the I-110, which is that short freeway spur leading to and from the Bridge of the Americas, the I-110 Paisano Drive interchange. When this project is complete, no access will be allowed from Paisano Drive to the Bridge of the Americas. That is designed to mitigate some of that congestion that we've seen for years along Paisano, impacting neighborhoods near the Chamizal National Memorial. As we will talk about in some of the coming slides, that change, eliminating all access from Paisano to the Bridge of the Americas, is scheduled to begin later this month. So you'll want to stay with us as we continue to go through the slides and talk about when those big changes, permanent changes, will take place. What we're going to do now is take a moment and fly you through the project and show you a bird's eye view of some things, some of which will look increasingly familiar to you as they start to become more and more realized out there in the field. All right, so right now we're flying high above the Spaghetti Bowl. This should look very similar to that still photo we showed you a moment ago. We're looking south, Ciudad Juarez at the top of the screen, Concordia Cemetery at the bottom of the screen. Again, we're highlighting each of those new direct connector ramps, which is being built as part of the I-10 Connect project. The big difference when this project is completed is that whether you're on I-10 or US 54, you'll make the decision at the Spaghetti Bowl whether you're going to go to Juarez or you're going to get on Loop 375 and continue down to Border Highway to go east or west. As we continue flying south along US 54, you'll start to see the El Paso Zoo come into the frame at the top of the picture. We're going to kind of turn the perspective around, and things should look generally pretty familiar right now. What you'll notice is off there on the bottom of the screen, that's Interstate 110, that short freeway spur that leads directly in to the Bridge of the Americas. As we continue going a little bit further south, again, this is where things in that neck of the woods really start to change. Traffic will be allowed to continue to go east-west on Paisano when this project is complete. That east-west traffic closed temporarily, but a long-term closure right now. But when the project is complete, again, east-west traffic will be allowed to continue on Paisano, but no traffic from Paisano to the bridge. So now a driver's eye view. This should look very familiar to many of us. The ramp we're taking right now, though, is closed, where we're following the silver SUV. This is a ramp that leads south towards Juarez. When the project is complete, you'll be able to go to the right, as this silver SUV is going to do, or go to the left, which is what we're going to do. When you go to the left, this will take you onto the main lanes of US 54, which will take you all the way south down to Loop 375. Before we get to Border Highway, though, you'll notice there is an exit to Paisano. However, if you take that exit to Paisano, you can go to the Coliseum, you can go to the zoo, you can go downtown, but no access from Paisano to the Bridge of the Americas. All right, the next view we're going to show you is coming from the east side, heading to the Bridge of the Americas via the Spaghetti Bowl. So again, this is another ramp that this red SUV is on, which is presently closed. When this project is complete, the ramp will remain largely as it has for years. As we kind of crest the top of that ramp, notice how things start to change. You'll see a sign coming into view, sending traffic off to the left to go to Loop 375 via US 54, or do what we're going to do, go off to the right, heading to Juarez via Interstate 110. You're going to see a car coming in here from the right. That little red car, was coming off of US 54 southbound. They too will be getting their own ramp, direct connecting them to the Bridge of the Americas via I-110, that roadway we're on right now. So you can see we're passing Safala School is off to the right of the screen. What you're going to see now as we continue heading south towards the Bridge of the Americas, the big difference: no traffic has to go up onto Paisano, go through traffic lights. All traffic goes through that lowest level underneath Paisano en route to the Bridge of the Americas. So that's really kind of something we've been relying on throughout this project to help people visualize the way this is going to look. But as we noted, this project is advancing, and so we can actually show you what it really looks like out there in the real world. So what we're doing right now, taking a look at an actual progress photo, not a rendering, an actual photo taken within the past couple of days. We're looking off to the northeast just to get your bearings. At the top of the screen, where you see that I-10 shield, that's going to be kind of the UMC area. Back to the lower left side of the screen, that would be downtown. So again, I-10 off to the top of the screen, heading out towards Van Horn. I-10 off the bottom of the screen, heading to downtown. So there you see right there at the center of the screen, that new direct connector. That's the one we saw in the rendering, that new direct connector that connects southbound US 54 to the Bridge of the Americas. That's that really high direct connector that's been being built over I-10 at the Spaghetti Bowl. You'll also see off to the right a little bit, a bridge to nowhere, a bridge that ends right now. That's because that is an existing bridge, direct connector to Juarez that is being modified to allow direct connections from I-10 to US 54 or direct connection to the Bridge of the Americas, as we noted. Taking a look at the next photo, we're going to work our way south a little bit to give you a little bit of time to orient yourself. So this is Interstate 110, again, the short freeway spur leading to the Bridge of the Americas. Off immediately under where you see the compass, that is the El Paso Zoo. Off to the upper left, you'll actually see the Spaghetti Bowl interchange itself. This is, you can see, new southbound lanes. This is where all access to the Bridge of the Americas will be through when the project is complete. So you see new concrete that motorists are using right now. You can see the existing northbound lanes, which remain closed. So if you're coming out of the Bridge of the Americas, you can't go north. You have to turn onto Paisano. And there you can see beautifully why that's the case. Those lanes, those northbound lanes, have been removed and are being reconstructed as we speak. All right, one more real life view. We're going to take you down to immediately north of the Bridge of the Americas. So we are looking to the southwest. At the top left of your screen, the Bridge of the Americas. At the top right of the screen, downtown El Paso. So here you see that Paisano Drive overpass, US 62 Paisano Drive, going east and west across your screen. Paisano Drive is now closed through 2021, so crews can begin demolishing that overpass. That work begins this week. It'll be reconstructed at a lower level. You know, all those traffic lights and some of the more that middle level of the interchange has been removed, and this overpass will be reconstructed at ground level. So that is just kind of a bit of a brief introduction as to why Paisano is closed right now. We have some additional information from Jennifer Wright at TxDOT on the big traffic changes that are in place now there on Paisano between San Marcial and Gateway South.
Beginning on Monday, November 9th, this stretch of Paisano Drive will be closed to through traffic between San Marcial Street and Gateway Boulevard South. The closure is necessary so crews can begin demolishing and reconstructing bridges which carry Paisano over I-110 immediately north of the Bridge of the Americas. When the I-10 Connect project is completed, all access from Paisano to the Bridge of the Americas will be removed to alleviate congestion, which has long plagued neighborhoods along Paisano for years. If you're leaving downtown on Paisano heading toward the County Coliseum, turn right on Cole Street, then left on Delta Drive. Follow Delta past Bowie High School and under the Bridge of the Americas, then turn left on Boone and right on Paisano. If you're coming from Escarate Park, heading toward downtown on Paisano, follow Alameda past University Medical Center and under US 54. When you get to Piedras, turn left, then turn right on Paisano. Temporarily, access from Paisano to the Bridge of the Americas will remain by taking this right turn near the Chamizal. When it closes later in November, all traffic bound for Juarez must access the Bridge of the Americas by following marked detours on US 54. Don't be caught off guard by changing traffic patterns. Sign up for text messages alerts right now at i10connectelpaso.com.
As Jennifer mentioned, this is one of the biggest, most impactful changes, a long-term closure as part of this project of Paisano Drive between San Marcial and Gateway South. You see there it's shown in red on the rendering on your screen. Again, there are some really good detours to help you avoid congestion. I know it is slow going or was slow going along Paisano near the Chamizal this afternoon. If you're trying to get past that area on Paisano, follow that detour on Delta to Boone. If you're going the opposite direction, follow the detour on Alameda to Piedras. I want to also draw your attention to that point that Jennifer raised about temporary access to the bridge. You see it here shown in a dashed purple line. That right turn from Paisano to the Bridge of the Americas does remain open for now. For now being the key term. It will close permanently later in the month. And when that happens, all traffic will have to again go up US 54, take the Pershing turnaround, and come south on 54 to get to the Bridge of the Americas. Let's talk a little bit about why that hasn't closed yet. If we go ahead to the next slide, you'll see it kind of made very clear to you. There will be some 27-hour or some complete closures of I-110. So beginning Sunday morning at 2 a.m. Through Monday morning at 5 a.m., I-110 will close so crews can begin some of that demolition work. So when that takes place during that 27-hour period, that right turn from Paisano to the bridge is the only way to access the Bridge of the Americas. That's a 27-hour closure. On Sunday, it is scheduled rather to continue as a nightly closure. If we go to the next slide, continue as a nightly closure along I-110 there underneath Paisano during the course of next week. Once we get through that, and it's going to be a bit of a back and forth between is the better way to get to the bridge on Paisano or is it via I-110? Once we get to the 20th of the month, again, that is when that permanent closure is set to take place of that right turn immediately north of the Chamizal. So once that takes place on the 20th, all traffic from I-10 to the Bridge of the Americas must go north on US 54, take the Pershing exit, take the newly widened U-turn there at Pershing, come south on US 54. You see it shown here in green. Then they'll get to the Juarez exit, shown in kind of an aqua color. That'll be your permanent access to the Bridge of the Americas. When the project is complete, you won't have to go all the way up to Pershing. But again, there are still some closures in the Spaghetti Bowl area that mean to get from I-10 down to US 54, you have to take, or rather to the Bridge of the Americas, you have to go up to Pershing and go through the turnaround. So there are going to be a lot of changes between now and the 20th. So over the next 10 days, more or less. So really, if you haven't taken advantage of it now is the time to go ahead, sign up for text message alerts. Go to i10connectelpaso.com. You can sign up for text message alerts. We will be using them liberally over the next 10 to 14 days to make sure people have the latest information on a changing situation to get to the Bridge of the Americas. Whether you are receiving those text messages on a US number or on a number in Mexico, we can send to you. We also send in English and in Spanish. So absolutely get over to the website i10 Connect El Paso and sign up for text message alerts. Another way to get questions answered you have, call us directly on our bilingual project hotline, 855-463-1010. That is not an emergency number. That is a number to call. We will get back to you within 24 hours if you have any questions. So with that, I'm going to kick it to Jorge and Rudy and just ask, guys, is there anything I've missed? Anything that folks at home need to know about what's coming up? A lot's coming up in the next 10 to 14 days.
Martin, there's one comment. We're going to also change the pedestrian route, okay, coming from the Bridge of America. So please, I inform the public that to be looking for that, because that's going to change. And since we're getting the bridge, so we're going to go through the side of the Chamizal Park. Okay.
That's a great point, Jorge. And I know I have been down there a couple of times when pedestrians haven't been following the marked pedestrian detours, which are there right now. So really a good encouragement to go ahead, familiarize yourself with the markings. It's very well marked. Just follow the signs. And if you see a construction fence, it's there for a reason. Don't get on the business side of that construction fence. Rudy, anything from the contractor side?
Yes. So from a safety standpoint, there's been a lot of confusion out there on Paisano. Mm-hmm. We've had several vehicles try to blow through the traffic barricades, and we've had to stop them. But we're putting up some additional barrier right before the bridge.
Okay.
Once the bridge is gone, if people try to blow that barrier, there's going to be a big drop off, probably 30 feet or 40 feet. So just I want to advise the public that those barriers are up there for a reason. It's for public safety. We're going to do our best to try to protect the public, but there's always that one vehicle or that one motorcycle that wants to continue to try to break through the closure. So just everyone be cautious of those signs, follow the detour route. You're going to have to access the border through Pershing, through the US 54, back on the 110 to get to the border from now on.
Rudy, you make a great point. I'm gonna ask Joe, who's pressing the buttons in the background, to do me a favor. Joe, can you pull up the third aerial photo showing the Paisano Drive overpass? It should be listed, I think, as slide 9. This is what Rudy's talking about. So that bridge, that Paisano Drive overpass, will be under demolition starting this weekend. So the 2 roadways leading to it won't be demolished immediately, but just imagine if you drive on either of those roads and the overpass itself is no longer there. So Paisano not just being closed for fun, absolutely being closed for safety. So be thoughtful about those signs and barriers are absolutely there for a reason. I also do want to we have a couple of comments coming in via Facebook. Want to thank Patsy Leon for commenting. Can you close off all of Paisano from San Marcial to Gateway South, just leaving neighborhood access? I'm going to actually ask any drivers who are watching, please pay attention to the marked detours. If the sign says the road is closed, that's because it is closed. So for example, right there at Gateway South, if you go past Gateway South on Paisano heading westbound, you can't get to the bridge. You can't get to 54. The only place you can get to is Patsy's neighborhood. So for the sake of folks living on Findlay and Lata Street, immediately north of the Bridge of the Americas, we're going to really encourage folks, don't go any further than Gateway South, because you're just not going to be able to get any further down the road. Another comment coming in from Alfonso: once this is done, don't leave any gaps for drivers to cut in the line when going to Juarez. We always know that cutting in line on the way to the bridge is what's one of the oldest sayings about Texas? You know, drive friendly. It's the Texas way, and cutting in line is not driving friendly. Gentlemen, anything else? I think those are all the comments we've received on Facebook. Haven't received any other email comments during the course of the meeting. Anything else we need to cover before we let folks go and give them their evenings back?
One other thing, Martin. So we are going to leave access to Mexico off Paisano for probably another week after the bridge, which is that free right.
Right.
After that, on November 20th, there will be no access from Paisano to the border. So at that point, everybody's going to have to use the Pershing detour. Just want to stress
one thing. That's a great point, and it's time to start building that habit, because once that once that right turn off of Paisano to the bridge closes on the 20th, it's not reopening. At that point in time, all access is through Pershing.
Yeah,
through I-110.
Correct. The final design, the intent is to have everybody access through the 110. So after November 20th, there's no more access to Mexico from Paisano ever.
So you won't always have to go all the way up to Pershing, but you will have to recognize that you will not be able to get to the bridge from Paisano. So again, just one last request. You know, if you take a minute rather, go to the website i10connectelpaso.com, sign up for text message alerts. If you have any questions, feel free to call us 855-463-1010. You can also email us info@i10connectelpaso.com. We will be back with our next virtual monthly community meeting a little bit less than a month from today on Tuesday, December 1st at 5:30 p.m. right here at i10connectelpaso.com and on Facebook. So please make a point. Join us then. We'll be happy to answer any additional questions you have via phone, via email, via social media between now and then. And by all means, drive safely out there, especially if you're traveling in the Paisano area, because a lot has changed and a lot will continue to change in the coming weeks. Thanks very much for joining us. We'll look forward to seeing you again next month.